This episode of Techzilla is sponsored by Citrix GoToAssist, the #1 global market leader in remote support.
Apparently, a lot of folks misplace a lot of stuff when Bluetooth tracking gadget Tile wrapped up its Selfstarter. Think Kickstarter, but different. That drive was over $2.6 million. Now, a year later, Tile is shipping and available for pre-order for folks that didn't make it into the original round of funding. But does it work? Rev3 Games' Nick Robinson's mom got him a pair of Tiles, and he's been testing the snot out of them. Welcome back,
Hey,
man.
good to see you.
I gotta ask, I know we're talking here about Tile, but how excited are you about Halo?
My excitement for that game is like, I feel like it's borderline unprofessional. Just because, like, as a kid who grew up on those Halo games, it taps into a nostalgia core in my brain that I just can't be objective with this game even remotely. It's horrible.
Tile, does it work? I mean, that's kind of the fundamental question.
Right.
It's a little piece of plastic that's got sort of a Bluetooth receiver in it and a speaker.
It does. And the speaker thing was the thing that was surprising to me. So I think my mom was one of the people who found out about this, fell in love with the idea, bought 1 million of them, and sent them out to everyone in our family, just because she knows we're the type of people who misplace things all the time. And yeah, like the fundamental thing that I like about it is not that it's like a Bluetooth thing that helps you keep track of stuff. It's the clever stuff around it, I think. I mean, they claim a 100-foot range, right? And in our sort of very limited testing, the range seems to be less about how physically far you are and more about how much interference there is between you and the tile.
How many, well, I laughed, right? Because I said, oh, did you bring the Tiles in this morning? You're like, yeah, where did I put them? And you're like, oh, and you fired up the app, right?
And so it turns out I have one of them here and then one of them in my apartment. And the way I know that is that Tile does a really cool thing where it shows you on a map the last known location of it. In addition to that, anyone who has the Tile app installed, their phone is now a beacon that Tile can talk to. So let's say my backpack gets lost and I leave it in like Nevada. Someone walks past it.
In Nevada?
Yeah, I'll know. I'll know why or where.
So basically, everyone needs to buy Tiles so Nick will know what state his backpack is in.
Or at least install the app for me, because I, again, lose a lot of stuff.
Well, it's pretty crazy, right? So it's iOS now. They're working on an Android app.
Right.
Does the app constantly running in the background?
I guess so, but I don't know. I haven't felt any like significant drain or performance loss from it. They claim that it is. They claim anyone who has the app installed, it'll function for. But yeah, the installation process is actually like just preposterously easy. You squeeze down the E button right here,
and then it sings.
And then yeah, it makes a nice little melody, and then you touch it to your screen, which I don't know if that part's necessary, but that's what they say you should do. And then there you go, it's synced.
Because that's not an iPhone 6. Tile isn't near field communications.
No, just Bluetooth.
But I guess they want to make sure they know which Tile.
Linking this is the closest one of all. But yeah, it's a pretty functional thing, I think.
Has it been, I mean, it's kind of funny. Does it give you an arrow that's like more left, more right?
I wonder if that's technically possible with Bluetooth. When instead what they choose to do is they give you kind of a octagonal sort of circle, and it pips like how close you are. So if there's 8, you're pretty close to it. If there's only 7, then you're within like a few dozen feet, and it goes down and up. So it's kind of like a warmer, colder system, and not really directional.
That's kind of funny. So if it's like something's lost in your house, like first you go to the front door and you walk away from your house, and then you kind of figure. So that's kind of crazy. Like the only way you know you're either, it's literally hot and cold.
Yeah.
You walk this way for a while.
The tricky thing about it, though, is that living in San Francisco, my apartment is just 1 pip on that thing. So really, all I know is if it's in the same like block as me.
Can you remote trigger the singing function?
Yes, and I can show that if you want to. If you'd like to hear it, here we go. It's got a nice little melody there.
All I feel like it's like 8-bit video game music.
And right now it's saying, hint, it's about an arm's length away. Which is, yeah, they're right. Well, it is about an arm's length away.
Let me wander off this way.
Alrighty, let's test this out. It's still saying arm's length, but it seems to update every couple minutes here.
Well, I'm about, 30 feet away now?
Yeah. What's cool is you put in, it says, hint, it's probably a few steps away now.
Well, that's good.
So there are kind of 2 ways to do it, right? You can tap it and get this octagonal view, and then there's also just a general, like, it's blue if it's sort of near you, it's green if it's very close, and then they have a text description of about how far it is,
So there's a battery inside of this.
Right.
How long do you think it's supposed to last?
They say a year,
okay.
Which is pretty generous as long as you're remembering to like update them. And I don't know how one would go about doing that. I'm assuming you just throw it out, buy a new one.
Don't say that, because somebody from iFixit might be watching.
Right.
They've just thrown something against their television screen right now.
They'll find a way. So the only thing about it that bums me out is I feel like it's kind of big.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not the smallest possible version of this device. Like, you could put it on your keychain and you'll be fine, right? It's not.
It's literally the size of my key fob.
Yeah, and so for me, I've got like this dumb minimalist wallet here, and the idea of like trying to just cram it in there is a little rough, kind of a stretch. like that. That doesn't totally work for me.
You
but
will find your wallet. You're
that's
just
true.
going to feel kind of awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're using it. So you're giving it a thumbs up, though.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it serves the purpose that it claims to. I think the stuff like the musical chime and the last known location is really clever, and like those are the things that'll actually help you find your phone, right? Like it's all fun to say it's a Bluetooth enabled thing and you'll find it with Bluetooth, but the chime is how you're going to find your stuff, right? Like it's maybe not as elegant and as techy as Bluetooth, but hearing it is the easier way to find it. Like,
well, it uses the Bluetooth to communicate with it to start the chime,
right?
So it's got that.
There you go. That's true. That's a good point.
So $20 for one, for $60 you get four. Available now on pre-order. You're giving it a thumbs up?
I think so. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Robinson, Rev3 Games. We want to thank him so much for making the time for us.
With GoToAssist remote support, you can provide live and unattended remote support to any computer or mobile device. You can screen share with employees to diagnose and fix their support problems faster and more effectively. And you can use GoToAssist apps to deliver support anytime, anywhere, from your iPhone, your iPad, and even your Android device. GoToAssist is easy to use, and it sets up in less than a minute. Whether you're supporting one coworker, 10 employees, or even 1,000, you can sign up today for a 30-day free trial. There's no contract and no credit card needed. Visit GoToAssist.com and click on the Try It Free button now. And after your free trial, if you purchase GoToAssist before October 31st, use the promo code GoToAssist3030 to receive 30% off the standard monthly rate. That's GoToAssist3030 to receive 30% off the standard monthly rate.